let's talk about Moderna beyond its COVID-19 vaccine. I think that's what your second red flag is. Green flag, sorry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to think about vaccines. It's always been kind of an uninteresting segment in healthcare because vaccines were very important and we vaccinate against a lot of illnesses, polio. I mean, the list goes on and on. And we do that as babies, and it's a one and done shot. And so, and almost all those drugs have come off patent. There's just no money in vaccines. The only real market in the United States and in Europe is flu. I mean, and that's a tiny market. I mean, that's a 4 or 5 billion market. So that was a concern with Moderna, is how big is their market opportunity in just vaccines, because vaccines have always been not super profitable. So a couple of points. One, the COVID-19 has shown us it maybe made vaccines more important. I mean, people have been talking about vaccines over this last year for a long time. So the vaccine market, and I'm inclined to think we're going to be vaccinating for COVID-19, not just this year, but probably next year too, and maybe the year after that. I don't think it's going to be a one and done shot because it does mutate. So I think vaccines are going to be more important than historically the market has recognized. But as you were talking about, Moderna also has platform, and they're trying to expand their mRNA technology into things like cancer. Well, cancer is a huge market opportunity for them. Now, being able to work against infectious diseases is something that mRNA is really good at, and we don't know how good it's going to be with cancer. I mean, that's a completely different thing. And even talking about a vaccine in cancer, well, that's not quite the same thing. I mean, you vaccinate to keep foreign bodies from invading you. That's not really how a cancer vaccine works. So it's very early, on the rest of their platform. The cancer is very early on that. So I wouldn't count on it, but it's nice to know that they are attempting to expand outside of vaccines, and that they are looking at additional opportunities. And any kind of new technology in cancer can be exciting. It's very early. I don't even think they're in phase 1 on their cancer drug yet.
Well, so they have a personalized cancer vaccine that is in phase 2 trials. This is not a vaccine for you and me, average Joe. This is for people who have cancer. It's more of even though it's a vaccine, it's really more of a therapeutic, and would be used in conjunction with, chemo, radiation, the standard of care. So they've got that. Then they've got let me see if I can say this. It sounds like a dinosaur to me. Cytomegalovirus vaccine, CMV. That is a herpes virus that impacts pregnant women and the development of newborns. So that is in phase 2. Then they are testing a vaccine for solid tumors and ovarian cancer. So it does have a few things in the phase 2, but certainly nothing is a sure thing there yet. The most sure thing for Moderna is that it currently has $11 billion in contracts for its COVID-19 vaccine. And for a company that didn't have anything on the market a year ago, $11 billion, we consider something to be a blockbuster if it brings in $1 billion in revenue annually. So, this is the equivalent of going from 0 to 100 within a year.